We're going live. All right, Ego, show me what is this? What is happening here? This dog is in your lap while you're driving in a bag?
In a bag, yeah, in a crossbody. Yep.
Oh,
So I'm gonna have
wow.
to put the phone down. Yep.
That is so cool. Oh,
Yes.
you're stopped. I see there's trees outside. You're stationary. Okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
I sometimes see these people driving down the road, like, with a dog in their lap and like the head hanging out the window while they're driving. I'm like, how do you do
No,
that? Yeah.
that's not safe.
No. Good to see
Okay, I'm
you,
gonna switch off.
Ego. And
Good to see everyone.
you know what? Forgive me. What was the name of your dog again?
Simba.
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 That's right. Simba. Yes. Good to
Okay,
see
I'm
you,
moving
Simba.
now, so I'm switching off.
Okay, very good. Very good. You drive safe. Welcome, everyone, to the Success Mastermind for Fun Friday, 28 May 2021. We went live just a couple seconds early there because I couldn't resist. I saw Simba in Ego's lap, and I thought that was interesting. Welcome. I do see Gail and John and Sonia and Daisy and Mark and Ego are here. More people coming in as we speak. You know what? We've got a light crowd today. Is everybody at the beach or something? Is everyone doing the Mark, where is everybody? They're doing the summertime thing. Is it summer already?
I think we scared them off yesterday, John.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or I did anyway.
Well, you're awesome, man.
Yeah.
By the way, for those of you who are members here, we've got, if you look at yesterday's recording, we've got plans coming down the pike for a live for real, like bodies in the same place, right? A live events, plural. And we're going to start with like some regional stuff. I know a lot of places are dealing with COVID considerations and what have you, but we're going to get something on the calendar here real soon because this group has been running and most of us have never met each other in person. So yeah, come on down. We're going to get together. So that being said, it is Fun Friday. I'm out of uniform. I'm not wearing my usual black. I'm in a very relaxed and whatever this is, blue and white. And I think next week we're going to do Dress Up Friday, right? It's the first Friday of the month, so I got to go get a tie. But that being said, who's got a joke or something for us here today? We can usually count on someone for a joke on Fun Friday.
Well, I can't. I'll find a joke, John, but I just wanted to step out for a second because there's a couple of us, maybe a few of us, we're working on meeting physically this weekend.
Oh.
So John, and I don't know if Daisy's schedule will permit. I'm trying to get a hold of Susan, and we're looking at a couple other folks. So we might be able to, since I'm down in the area here, we're going to see if we can maybe spend, you get a couple hours and just at least, do the high five and,
Good.
and all that. So it'd be nice. Just kind of keep adding to, everybody getting that personalization in this. So we're pretty excited about that.
Well, thank you for that. We're gonna definitely, as well, now in the northern hemisphere anyway, spring is upon us, summer's coming, people are getting out more. In the southern hemisphere for our Aussie and Kiwi and South African friends, right? Winter's coming, right? So we're gonna take this up a little bit today, how we deal with the seasons actually and changes. Not only in the seasons, but in our life. But who's got a joke for us today? I can usually count on Gail for something awesome.
Not today.
No. Gail was hanging around in a biker bar, just in case you're wondering what happened to Gail, right?
Thanks,
Should
John.
have seen the other guy.
That's the joke.
There you go. Gail, you're a survivor. Thank you for always, showing up and being so chipper. Yeah, Gail had a little bit of a fall. She survived because that's what Gail does. And she is back with us here. I got a quick silly joke for you. How many online marketers does it take to change a light bulb? Nobody knows? None. They automated the process. All right. So there you go. Gail enjoyed that. It's all for Gail. All right. Anybody else today with a dog, cat, rat, duck, anything? Where's Ingrid with her goose? He's out here. Good to see you, Sonia. All right. So a couple things, housekeeping, and then a quick demonstration. Get ready for a demonstration. We're gonna have a little training today. And then we're gonna talk about the idea that was coming up for me as far as embracing change. which we've talked about before, but it's, it's time for us to talk about it again. So first, announcements. Therese, our friend Therese, and resident expert in integrative health and nutrition, is traveling and on courses and advanced, like stuff. And so integrative health is off the calendar for June and July, starting immediately. So today it's off the calendar, and that spot is open. So Friday afternoons, we typically have integrative health. We've got a whole series. And for those of you who are members here, you can go into your JLSM members site. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you real quick so you can see it. Share my screen so you can see this. And by the way, if you're not a member here, if you're just like tuning in via YouTube or Facebook or wherever you're seeing this, go avail yourself of a membership. It's like almost free and it's freaking awesome. So anyway, here's what it looks like. You log in, you get to see the stuff. Hold on a second. I recently got LastPass, and so I got LastPass popping up. Okay, so here is the recordings, and you can see here, look at this massive library of recordings. Anyway, here's integrative health, right? And look at this, look at all that Therese has done here. My goodness. So you can go back through all this stuff, especially if you're a new member here or if you're getting a new membership right now. This is all in here for your viewing pleasure and edification. Speaking of huge libraries of stuff, we've got Global and Technical Marketing with Mark Riggle, who you just heard from. Look at all this. We got Gentle Yoga and Relaxation with that's actually Nancy right there doing a yoga pose, right? Nancy's a professional yoga person. Look at this library of stuff. Oh my goodness, right? Most recently as yesterday, she did a bit on gratitude, right? So, and you can go through all this. Also, our book study, we've just completed Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. These are also in here in the archive, right? Power of Consistency, SGR, Richest Man in Babylon, 7 Habits, Think and Grow Rich, As a Man Thinketh. I think that's it. Yep, those are all the books that we've reviewed so far. We are starting this Monday, the preface and the first 3 chapters of our next book, which is here, Psycho-Cybernetics. So you can go ahead and grab that, get the Kindle version. This is the original text, deluxe edition. So whatever, I actually have the original text physically in my hands, not in my hands at this exact moment, but in my briefcase. And so that's the version we'll be reviewing. Okay. So there's that. You can also, and sorry for all of our seasoned members, they're like, John, yeah, we already know this stuff. That's okay. Deal with it. You can also find a link to the book right here. So book study, this is on the menu, right? That's this section right here. This is all the stuff on the menu. Right now we're on general session. Book study, if you're ever vague about what book we're reading right now, click there and it will take you right to either the free download, if it's like an ancient, thing that's out of copyright, here's the free copy, or in the case of something where you can actually go buy it, here's the link so you know what to buy and what version to buy, because you get into some of these classic writings, there's like 15 different versions, and Johnny don't play that. Johnny likes original text, just the way the author thunk it. Hey, Adrian, I see you. Good to see you. Okay, so that was the announcement. The other announcement is Be Heard. We typically end our week with Be Heard at 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm moving that to right after our general session today. We always have our hospitality suite open. Anyone could show up at any time. That's your room. Use it for whatever you want. You need to host a meeting or something. You want to grab a few people and kibitz about whatever, that's your room. All right. So consider that like your own Zoom account. Anytime we're not in session, that room is open. I do have an agenda today, which is intense. So I'm going to go ahead and listen to any thoughts, ideas, whatever you guys want to talk about right after general session. I'm going to open up the Be Heard room. And if you got something to say, I'm here to listen. So I think those are all of our announcements for today. Now, any questions on that? No? Fantastic. We're going to go on to the next item, which is a little demonstration. Mark likes that. Mark, where I got that from? One of my friends at the firearms training school, right? They would give the lecture, right? This guy's a range master. He's like super, high level. And he would give the lecture, make sure everybody understands. Here's what we're talking about. Here's the drill that we're about to do. And then, you present the weapon in this way, and we're going to press the trigger this many times. So the whole lecture, here's everybody's clear about the purpose of the drill. And then he would say, all right, any questions? No, outstanding. Everyone onto the firing line. So that fast, he would. And there was a time where I actually had a question. I was like, he's like, all right, what's your question? Okay. Interestingly, his name is Bob Vila, not the guy from the Craftsman, TV commercials and whatever with the router bits and whatever they're selling. But yeah, that's his name. Good guy, very good shooter too, biker too. So anyway, a demonstration for today. Here we go. So those of you who are doing anything with video, which I would argue should be everyone, right? I would have loved to capture on video, Gail's, last trip to the biker bar when she got into the drunken brawl. No, I'm joking. Gail, thank you for letting me get some mileage on that. But I'm going to show you something here. A lot of times people think that you got to have like mega camera equipment, right? And certainly there's, an argument for quality lenses and, of course, the resolution and, the fine capture of video. I'm just going to show you one thing right now, which will cost you almost nothing. In fact, it may cost you nothing, which will greatly increase the quality of whatever video you're putting out. Is anybody interested in that? You are? Fantastic. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to start with wrong. Here's what wrong looks like. Stand by. Okay. So what do you see here? You see more backlight than front light. Okay, backlight not good, front light good. So the first thing, the mistake a lot of people do is they sit like this, like in front of a window or something, and they don't control their backlight. You get to be a silhouette, and you get some really gnarly shadowing. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is control the backlight, which is why I pulled this curtain here, because in the hotel room that I'm in, I'm working with what I got. Okay, so now that we've established that there's not so much backlight and we've got a pleasing background, there's some art right there, right? And there's curtains and there's a TV set, which I don't use, but I requested a coffee pot. I was like, bring me a coffee pot. So I shoved the TV set to the back of the countertop and I put the coffee pot. That's the main item in the room. So there you go. So there's my version of a pleasing frame, right? So we're framing the shot so that, what we want in the frame is there and what we don't want in the frame is not there, to the best of our ability based on the environment. And you may be doing a mobile video, right? Where you're driving, right? So you've got the frame would be the inside of the car, or a walking video, which is really good stuff, by the way, right? There's a psychological reason for this, but you're walking with a handheld monopod. This is a crash course, all right, in like video marketing. So here's a handheld monopod, basically, smartphone on a stick, right? This extends, you can do the thing. It's got a little clicky button to click the shutter, whatever, right? So it even opens up into a tripod, right? So this is like a tripod stand. So anyway, handheld monopod or selfie stick, or call it whatever you want, 20 bucks on Amazon. Fan-friggin-tastic. Back to the idea of setting up your set, okay? So now we've killed the backlight, and now we're going to turn on some lights. Here is a desk lamp, which is kind of a warm white, right? So maybe 2600 to 3200 Kelvin. Color temperature is measured in Kelvin. Okay, the higher the number, the bluer it is. The lower the number, the yellower it is. Dead middle would be pure white. It's about 5000 to 5500 Kelvin. Okay, so most like professional video lights, unless they're going for a specific kind of a mood, right, would be about 5000 Kelvin. And here I'm going to supplement with another light. So now I'm getting diffused light from both sides, okay, slightly above the subject. I'm the subject, by the way. And that light is descending in a diffused way. So not focused, but diffused, right? And it's kind of canceling the shadows from both sides. So what looks better, that or, just to give you contrast, that? Pretty extreme, right? Did I just go buy, expensive camera lenses while you weren't looking? No. In fact, this light right here, that's a desk lamp. Okay. This light right here was 30 bucks on sale on Amazon. That's it. So a little little panel light, just to give you an idea. There's my hand, so you can see the size of this thing. It's about the, here's my iPhone, right, in comparison. See that? $30, done. USB powered. Actually, it's got a battery in it too. I don't even need to run the cable, but I just do anyway, because I don't want to be thinking about how much battery life do I have left. All right, so have I made a point? Does that serve you? Anybody have any thoughts, questions, anything on
Well,
that?
John,
Yes.
that's the first time I've ever seen a light like that. So, man, I guess I'm still in prehistoric ages or something, man. I'm still trying to figure this
Okay.
out. But I mean, I've seen the circle lights that people use, but
Yeah,
gosh, that's
the ring
that little
lights.
light like that. Yeah, the ring lights, that little light. I mean, that's, you can carry that in your suitcase. I mean, you know, when you travel, that's, yeah,
That's exactly why I bought it.
okay.
Yeah, at home where I've got my whole sound rig, studio monitors, condenser microphone hanging right here, just outside of the frame. It's like right there, right there, right. And so, and then I've got my array of LED lights, which again are diffused and are spread. It's not focused. It's not like a bulb pointing at me. It's a diffused panel of lights, right. So that's the main thing. If you don't want shadows, right, you want a very flattering look. Now the other thing is, thank you, Mark. Any other questions on that? I hope this serves you guys. I hope this isn't too mundane of a topic. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to show you how you can also do this with virtual backgrounds, which you guys have seen me do a bit up to this point. So here's one that looks like a good one to start with. Okay. So here I am in this office. All right. And keep in mind, you can also do it with a green screen and then not have so much of these trails, see where it's canceling out, and you can see like my neck, you know, it's kind of, as I move quicker, I can kind of defeat the purpose of the non-green screen, you know, effect that's going on here. The benefit of having a flat green or blue background, that's called chroma key. And this way the computer knows anywhere you see that color, kill it, right? In this case, the computer's got to think extra hard because I'm giving it a random background. It has all the stuff that isn't moving. That's the point. It's looking at what's not moving. Okay. So, and we can do things to match the light in the false background that we're attempting to do video with. So in this case, the light looks right. What if I went ahead and did one of these? So that's a more like, because this light panel has 3 different color temperatures. So warm, white, and cold, right? So that one might be more appropriate for, anybody recognize that spot? That's my office at home. I got to sit in my chair. There I am. I'm sitting in my chair. So I'd have to adjust, you know, my closeness to the camera lens to make this kind of work because my chair's there, but I'm not. Or this right here. That kind of looks right. Okay. But which direction is the light coming from? It's coming from over there. And this is the dark side of me, right? So I'm going to have to crank up this light, maybe even change the temperature a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now, what if I went to full, you know, cold light? That doesn't look as natural in this space. In this space, yeah, it's bright. Look at the sun, right? So you see, I'm matching the light with the environment. In this case, a false environment. All right, but that's the difference with color temperatures. Does this look right? No. Like why is it so warm here on this side of the room, but behind me it's so daylight, right? Let's crank up that color temperature a little bit. So there's there you go, guys. I hope that serves you. And now, and there's other adjustments too, like on the video settings, like how much color saturation and, you know, depending on what camera you're using, right? So in this case, this is as close as possible, like to the truth, right? This is the visual truth of what I look like when I look in the mirror. There you go. So, all right. Any questions on video? Hung-san.
Hi, sorry, question, John. So wait, how do we minimize that whole trailing thing again? Because I know for me, I always get it really, really, really bad. So bad that I'm like, I don't want to use a virtual anymore. I
Right.
then end up switching to natural, but it's like all your crap. It's like,
Yeah. So one thing you want to do is get rid of as much backlight as possible. So the subject is well lit and the background is kind of disappearing into the distance, right? So depth is helpful. because the difference between the well-lit subject and the poorly lit far away backdrop, right, the wall or whatever, is there's more of a contrast that the computer can decipher. Okay, and different computers have different abilities, right? So your chip may be kind of dragging on this because it's a lot of work to figure this out.
Right. Yeah, because I
Right.
got it. Okay,
Right.
that's the thing. All right.
Yeah, and then the other thing is you can go get a green screen, and there's the frame mounted where you got the whole frame behind you, and there's a whole curtain, right? But there's also chair mounted green screens now for like $50. I mean, good ones you can spend $100. Garbage you can buy for $25. So somewhere in the middle. And you can mount it to the chair back, and it takes up the entire frame of the shot. I mean, you got to make sure your camera distance is correct, okay? But it takes up the entire frame of the shot, and then you're really running chroma key, like for real, green screen. And on Zoom, when you get those false backgrounds, you can actually, there's a setting that says I have a green screen, or I don't. In this case, I don't. Okay, but if you're telling it, hey, I have a green screen, look for green, it'll do that, and it'll work a lot better.
Oh, and the whole trailing weirdness will be minimized once you do that.
Perfect, maybe not perfect, but I mean, that's now we're getting into Hollywood, and we're from here's Star Wars and spaceships, and that's they're spending millions of dollars, and it's perfect, right? So yeah,
good enough. We're going for good enough.
Yeah, for our purposes, whatever. So
thank you.
You're so welcome, Hung San. Mark said, yeah, Zoom, virtual backgrounds. With some of these backgrounds, Ego's got her hand up. Let me just show you real quick, and then I'll bring Ego out here. With some of these backgrounds like this, I just went on a search engine, in my case, DuckDuckGo, and I said office background, and then I looked at all the image results, right? There's web results and video results and image results. Images, I want images. Okay, great. So office background, I got that one. I got that one. I got this one. Obviously, my light doesn't match this background. Okay, I thought that was kind of cool. That one's my own office. I got this one. Here's my old office. Those of you who've been hanging around with me for a while, remember that? There's my old office. There you go. There's that, right? So I just downloaded this stuff and shove it into your Zoom program. And then here's like the stock ones that Zoom gives you. There's that. A lot of people are running that lately. Not sure why, but if that's your thing. What else? There's even like little videos. Here's Aurora. Here's the beach. Hooray. Oh, and the blur. I would like the blur better if it wasn't so intense. I would like a more subtle blur. This is kind of like, what am I, a piece of jewelry or something? I mean, I am really blasting out at you with this much blur. So I kind of stay away from that. Ego, your thoughts, my friend.
Thanks a lot, John. That was actually quite useful. Do you mind showing the handheld light that you showed earlier?
Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of different versions of this. I'm going to turn it off so I'm not blinding you with it. Okay. So in this case, this one is Human Centric is the brand. Okay. And it's just a little panel light. I chose this one because it has the same sort of a mount that you would find on a webcam. So it kind of rests with gravity, and then you can adjust the geometry of it. Okay, so you get the right angle, but it rests like an outboard webcam. Most of them come with a suction cup where you suck it to the back of the laptop screen, and people are griping that the suction falls off and it's leaving marks or whatever. So I wanted this mount, a Human Centric. Was the brand that I found. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And you can even get get like two of them. Like, so let's say that you're because I do like to have the light spread from left and right. So in this case, I do have a desk lamp here. So I only need one light here, and I kind of color match, and balance it out. But you could imagine installations where you've got two, one on each side of the screen. So. All right, very good. Thank you, Ego. All right, any other thoughts? Oh, you're so welcome. Any other thoughts on this? Okay, very good. So change. Times be a changing. So here's
hang on, John. Hey, Frank, another coffee for all my friends here.
Very nice. Is that your yacht? Where's the bikini chicks? Uh,
Well, that's, we'll leave that one alone, man. I just want to have my family members out there.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, as we like to say, those days are gone forever.
Well, I mean, in online marketing, it's like every friggin' day, it's bikini chicks on yachts and Lamborghinis, man. Like everybody's Rockefeller, everybody. Okay, back to reality. What is happening in our reality? We've got people who are. Well, let me first address those of you who've been here for a while, right? You're part of this group. We've got life going on. We've got some major advancements that people are making in life and in business. Congratulations for our new members who are just discovering all that we do here. Just buckle your seatbelt, because the transformation that I'll just tell you that I've witnessed, and that many of us here have witnessed in ourselves and in our peers, in our members, has been totally remarkable. The idea that we could be involved in a consistent application of principle is why this whole thing exists, right? There's something that I refer to a lot, the idea that as easy as it is to do the right thing, it's even easier to just not do it. And since habits beat heroics, those of us who have developed habits of involving ourselves in one of the key components of successful living, which is personal development, right? Actually deliberately attempting to develop oneself beyond what you were yesterday. In other words, to become and to demonstrate the ideal version of ourselves, right? People who are engaged in that consistently, we find are, shall I say, swept on to success. What did Napoleon Hill say? Just give you an example right out of Think and Grow Rich. He said, when riches come, they come so fast and in such great abundance that one wonders where they've been hiding during all those lean years. So that, to me, that speaks to me, because many of us may have been striving, and I've certainly strived at times in my life, striving meaning lots of work and not a whole lot of satisfaction, right? Like the old Rolling Stones song, I can't get no satisfaction, right? So that's like a striving sort of experience. Is that what we're here for? No, we're here to be in the flow. And what I found is the way to get into the flow is to be consistent with resourceful things I could easily not do, but that I choose to do anyway. And I do them so consistently that they become habit. So where does this lead us now when we look at changing times? Okay, so let's say that you're experiencing springtime. It's time to go to the lake or the beach, or you got a new opportunity. Yes, all this personal development stuff has paid off. You've attracted opportunity to yourself. And here comes avalanches of abundance. Here's the thing to remember, is that the basics are still the basics. That which got you here, that got things working to a higher level or a better degree than they were before, are still those things. Because and here's why I say this. There are times in my life where I've abandoned the basics because I recognized increase and breakthroughs and what have you, and sort of took the position like I've arrived or something. Resting on my laurels, right? There's the saying, which literally means the laurels, right? So that's the crown of laurel, like bay leaf, I guess, or olive branch, right? Actually, olive wouldn't technically be a laurel, but whatever, right? It's living in Arizona, there's olive trees, and you can just rip off a little branch and make yourself a laurel. But that's what it means. Like, oh, look, I'm celebrating yesterday. I'm celebrating yesterday's victories. And I'm going to go ahead and relax and rest on that and not strive, okay, but not continue to improve, because look at my laurels. In the Roman times, the general returning, from his conquer, had an assistant that would tell him, remember you're mortal, remember thou art mortal, right? So don't rest on these laurels. Vigilance. That's what I'm getting at here. Vigilance, and not in a state of paranoia, like, oh no, my bad habits might come back, right? Or I might lose the success that I'm now enjoying. This could go away. Therefore, I must be paranoid about that. So no, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about when I say vigilance is to stick with the basics, stick with that which we know works, and find, in fact, ways to apply them at higher and higher levels to get more leverage out of the basics. Because truly, I'll tell you this, in fact, I wrote about it in my first book, the height of mastery is simplicity. If you can reduce something to a simplicity and still have it make sense to you, and in fact, be able to deliver it to others, to induce others to also experience the mastery of simplicity, wow, that's big. That's big. And so what we look at what we do here, not just here in this group, but what we do as we end session today and we go out into society and the effect that we're going to have. I think it's a really good thing to remember to be deliberate in how we show up. So now that you're at the lake and it's summertime and perhaps you're spending less time inside and looking at computer screens and stuff. Okay. But you do keep showing up here, right? You get your batteries charged, whether you're doing that live or you're listening to the YouTube or whatever while you're, driving down the road with your dog on your lap, right? So whatever you're doing, you stay plugged into the message. Here's where I got all this from, by the way. So many of you know that my first entree into this whole space of personal development and deliberate thinking and on purpose living was out of desperation, right? It was via like 12-step fellowships and people learning to get sober and live somehow a productive life and whatever. And that was a product of my very troubled youth. And in that environment, I learned about this idea of constant vigilance, right? So in that case, this could be a life or death sort of a thing. So let's say here's the drunk, right, who's almost drunk themselves to death, right? And now they're because they've hit bottom, they're going to seek more resourceful living, right? Things that could help them not destroy themselves. And so they start having wins, right? They're showing up, right, in an environment that's not only understanding and supportive, but that has a doctrine, right? Here's some principles, right, which you've probably never heard of. And so we're going to go ahead and show you how we do this, and you can apply these. In this case, it's called steps, right? You can apply these steps into your life, and you can make right things that have been neglected or errors, shortcomings, character defects, and what have you. So. And you can also help others, right? So let's say you start having wins with that, right? Does that mean that now you've graduated and, go hit the streets? And there have been many, many, many cases where that, in this case, we'll call it a symptom, right? And this is an extreme symptom, right? But the drug addiction, the alcoholism, the self-destructive habit came back, and in some cases took them out. I can't tell you how many funerals I've been to, having been around and in that environment where people were attempting to get sober and live sober and all that. So yes, I'm very blessed, right? That I received and acted on the instruction to keep showing up, to remain vigilant, right? And to know that the streets are still out there and the body count just keeps going up. Right. So that sounds extreme because it is extreme. Okay. But does the principle not also apply into our much more, let's say, comfortable and workable lives? Sure it does. It still applies. Right. So if we're here to experience increase, regardless of the circumstances that are happening out there, let's continue to observe workable, doctrine, right? Workable philosophy. And let's continue to act upon that, even though we've experienced wins, we've experienced changes, pleasing changes, not striving, okay? Better, stronger, faster just means that I now get to apply with more leverage ideas and principles and things that have gotten me this far, right? And now I can also, here's the great thing, I can also perceive ways of going farther that I was blind to before. And not only can I perceive these things, I can also now occur in the lives of others as someone who has so-called mastered the basics so that they too can get out of their own way, right? I mean, isn't that what we're talking about here? I mean, who here isn't powerful? Think about that. Even if up to this point, you've been very, very successfully demonstrating how powerful you are in terms of stopping yourself, that's still your power. It's still your energy that you're using to create this result. I heard someone say, I got this, I hit this goal. Wow, isn't it so amazing? And then they stopped and they said, you know what? Actually, that's not amazing. You know what's amazing is that I've been able to screw it up for so long. Amazing. Look at how powerful I have. Right? If the natural state of the universe, of life, of, everything that we're doing here, if the natural state is order, success, prosperity, then what an amazing amount of influence we're able to exert to screw that up. And there's a lot of agreement around this too. So when you show up at the lake, at the bar, at the social event, at the family reunion barbecue, right, where people are griping about their circumstances and convincing each other or agreeing with each other about how much they can't, right, how much of a victim they are, or how much they are not cause and they are effect, and complaining and griping about everything else that seems to be in control of their lives, it's easy to go into agreement with that. Easy. And there again is where the vigilance comes in, to reinterpret what you hear other ignorant but well-meaning people, talking about, and to not go into agreement with that you can actually remain in a state of disagreement. And it's not an ugly thing. It's not a confrontational thing. It's just a knowingness thing. You can be in a state of disagreement with the limitations that most people argue for. The only way to do that is to stay plugged into the message, to stay connected with, the doctrine, the philosophy, that books that we're reading, the mastermind groups, the things that will keep us reminded of how powerful we actually are, and to remain vigilant against those suggestions that we are not. Kind of a big topic. I know it's Fun Friday. I hope can anybody relate to this? Can anybody relate to the Thanksgiving dinner, or I don't know what your family reunions are like, but can anybody relate to that? Here you are creating deliberately the ideal lifestyle for yourself and your family, and then now you're in an environment which appears to be, or may very well be, antagonistic to that. What do you do with that? Well, that's what I'm suggesting, is that you remain vigilant and you remember who you are. I think the best advice I could ever give anyone is decide who you are and then be that. Full time, by the way, that's full time. And I haven't done this perfectly. Okay. So yeah, it's very seductive out there. We can all get into agreement about problems and all this. I remember being in a seminar with one of my mentors, Bob Proctor, and he was talking about, this is so funny. He was talking about, seeing your goals, seeing the wish fulfilled, right? And experiencing that in present time. And this guy raised his hand, and this was a pretty big room. There's probably 400 people in like a ballroom, like a hotel ballroom. And we're all sitting around like 10 tops. Is that what it's called? When you got 10 seats around the round table, like a banquet, like a 10 top or 6 top. So it's like 10 people around each table, and we're going through the workbooks, and he has, any questions, whatever. And one guy who was sitting kind of around the middle of the room raised his hand, and he had to speak up, right? Because it was a pretty big room. And he was like, I'm doing this, and I get, I understand what my goal is now, and I have, I've got these things that I can do, but I keep having problems with. And then as soon as he said that, right, so Bob was hearing him just fine from stage as he was talking about, the wins, the things that the resourceful actions that he's taking. But then as soon as he said, but I have this problem that, and as soon as he said that, Bob was like, huh? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat that? And so could start from the beginning, if you would. And so the guy started again. I'm doing this. This is great. This, that. But and as soon as he went into the butt eyes, I was like, what? Could you I'm sorry, I'm getting up there in the years. Can you start over again? And the guy did it again. The third time, he finally got it. He finally got it. As soon as he started bitching and griping about why he can't, he got it. The whole crowd laughed. So there was the lesson. God bless Bob. So that guy's still kicking ass on stages around the world, man. That guy is unstoppable. He's a damn energizer, buddy. I am done talking. We're already 39 minutes in. So what did we do today? We had some announcements. We had a video demo, and we had some thoughts about changes and dealing with success, right? And remaining vigilant. So you keep it moving, bigger, better, stronger, faster. Who's got some thoughts about this? I'd love to hear them. Please come on down. Come on down. Oh, did I put everybody to sleep? That just happened. That just happened. All right, who wants to talk? Come on out, or we're going to go ahead and wrap this baby up, and I will see you at the top of the hour for Be Heard. Anybody have an idea? I am not seeing, hopefully the tech is working here. Not seeing any hands. Last call. Last call. We are done. There you go, everyone. Wow. All right. So we're going to get together here at the top of the hour. Right now it's 12:40 p.m. Eastern. I will see you at 1 o'clock. If you got any ideas you want to share, thoughts, questions, Q&A, right? I will be here on Be Heard.